Hello.
Hi.
We are Barb and Elena Krause of LuLaRoe Tilly's Boutique. We have been in business for almost 2.5 years.
Yeah, about 2.5 years.
So
October 2016.
Yep. We're not like crazy massive retailers. We just finished our taxes actually, so we know we did about $23,000 in sales last year, and our inventory is somewhere around 1,100 pieces at the moment. So we are here though to give kind of our experience with LuLaRoe and our thoughts on like where LuLaRoe is and where it's going and all of that. So
Well, first we wanted a little bit of background about us, that when we were talking, like Elena says, this isn't our first rodeo. I have done several, even before she was, yes. Oh, we're mother and daughter, yes.
If you can't, if familial resemblance isn't strong enough.
So, yeah, I had done Amway, and I sold makeup, and done, yes, all kinds of things. But we did jewelry for 9 years.
Yeah.
And
9 years.
One of the things we liked about that was the fact that we didn't have to carry inventory. And then when the company went out of business and we tried another company and it got bought out, we thought, okay, that's it. We're done with direct sales. And then my daughter-in-law introduced us to the lovely leggings of LuLaRoe.
Yes.
And we fell in love.
And it was actually, we didn't know this at the time. It was when the leggings craze was first beginning. So that was January of 2016, which, to give a little context for our like personal lives wise, when we had done direct sales jewelry, I was working first for Boy Scouts and then I was in software. So a big thing for me with all of the jewelry sales was I spent the majority of my time with guys, and I really needed some like girl time.
I remember that.
Like when I worked for Boy Scouts, there were only like 3 women in the office. Outside of some of our secretarial staff, like business things, it was like myself and one other person that was female. So then going into software, when I got laid off, I was literally the only female under the age of 40 on my entire 30-plus person team. So I needed like women in my life, and I was not getting them through work. Well, I got laid off in 2014 and had ended up moving home in 2015, and then this came up in 2016. I think I had just filed for bankruptcy from all of that going on. So,
which is why she needed a partner.
Yep. So when this all came up, we're like, we always said we didn't want to do something that involved inventory.
Yes.
Like, we don't want to deal with inventory. And B, where on earth is this money coming from? So we were just like, we'll buy some leggings and try it out, and we're not going to do anything with it. That's just
And then we went to these, they called them Lulapaloozas, and it just seemed like every time we went, it was $100 here, $100 there. And Elena's like, Mom, we either have to start the business or you need an intervention.
Yeah. So in like June of that year, I hosted a pop-up with our now sponsor, Erica. And I'm inviting people over to the pop-up. And they, instead of saying, yes, I can make it, or no, I can't make it. Oh, well, I can't make it that day, but when you start, I'll support your business. I'm like, but I'm not starting. Like,
There were a lot of things that happened like that.
And so we're like, well, maybe we need to really, like, think about this. And they tease me about being the spreadsheet queen. Like, I have spreadsheets for everything. So this all ties in that we really came in with our eyes open. Like, we got all the information from Erica about what it would cost us, like what the wholesale was versus what minimum advertised pricing was. I read through those policies and procedures like 10 times. I hear a lot of people talk about, like, when they do have things that, like, LuLaRoe did this or that. They're not actually things that LuLaRoe did. They're usually things that their sponsors told them, and they didn't make sure they had the rest of the information. And that was not us. We knew what we were getting into when we turned in our paperwork. And finally in July, we signed up, because it was like a 12-week, we were told it was a 12-week wait when we put our paperwork in July, because we were like, September, the bankruptcy stuff will all be finished, we'll have some money. There was a lot of stuff that was coming together, and 2 weeks later,
We get a phone
We got
call.
a phone call. There were people that have been in the queue for months and hadn't gotten a phone call yet. And we get a phone call and we're like, what is going on? So we just figured that was another thing of God saying, this is what you need
Time
to do.
Get ready. Time to make it serious.
You need
I
to
think
get your act together.
Up until just we actually signed up, I still kept going, are we really doing it? I kept praying about it, going, is this the right thing? And yes, it all came together at the last minute, and we were thrilled. And there was a training with locally that we were able to go to that Mark and Deanne were at, and we were really impressed with them and how much they care about the people in their business. They have a lot of extensive background in
various random things.
Yeah, well Deanne in the sales part, Mark ran
construction company or something like that.
But anyway, he's the numbers guy. But these people have the biggest hearts.
That's really a big thing for us. So like I was thinking about it as we were waiting for my phone to charge so that we could record this. And so when the first jewelry company we did was Leah Sophia, which had been around in various names, same family, for over 40 years. So when we came into it, we're like, okay, this is a company with history. This is a company that knows what they're doing. Until one December morning, we get an email that they're closing at the end of the month and they're not fulfilling orders because they had not been agile. They didn't keep up with how things function now.
Yes. They only had a 10-year business plan
they weren't able to adjust to the times. And then they had millions of dollars of jewelry that was just in boxes that they decided to sell wholesale. That's a different story.
Yeah. So anyway, so we knew about companies that didn't have the right plans.
So when we came into LuLaRoe, it was their 4th birthday that year, or in, I guess, 2017. And Mark and Deanne may not have, like, business degrees from Harvard or things like that, but they have so much heart, and they are also very willing to say, hey, we can do this better. Like, we did it this way, it didn't work out well, we're trying to figure out the best way, and they're very willing to change and grow as a business, which is vital in the current business environment. So, yeah, we've had, when we came in, you couldn't get tall and curvy leggings. I remember I was working as a preschool teacher.
They didn't have them.
And I'm driving home, and I'm sitting at a stoplight, and you just had to refresh. Like, you'd be in our back office to buy stuff, and you refreshed, and if you saw those leggings come up, you better act, because they were going to be gone. And I at the red light, and they came up, and I'm like, what do I do?
I think you pulled over.
So I pulled into the florist shop on the way from school to my house, and I'm like frantically ordering, and there was some sort of error. Like, I have to get these leggings. So we've been there for that. We've had
the thing that I wanted to mention was that for that year, 2017, they grew 7 times over. That is just like unheard of. And they went from like less than $1 million to selling several $1 million. So that was the reason why, and they had the long line of people coming in. So that was what was causing the shortages and all that.
So we totally understood why things were happening the way they were happening.
One of the things I wanted to say was that I feel like anytime a company grows that rapidly, there's always people that somebody's gotta jump in there and say something bad, and then, as Elena mentioned earlier, the people came in and they would complain about stuff, and we said, well, it was their sponsors. And anytime, like the first conference she went to had 20,000 people there.
It was insane. And let me tell you, some of these ladies were crazy.
And that's what we were going to say. When you have 20,000 people, you're going to have a percentage of some crazies in there. And unfortunately, there were a few of them that did some things they shouldn't and did things just to get people on their team. And when it didn't work out, they wanted to badmouth the company instead of admit that it was their fault.
So, and of course, for us, we've done the slow and steady growth route. Like, I was working full-time the first year, and I managed to severely sprain my ankle, which kind of slowed me down a little bit. And we, of course, like, we're very independent, so we talked to our sponsor about stuff. Most of the time, I just went and read whatever information I could find.
She doesn't really do a whole lot. We just...
No,
there's 2 of us. We can talk between us.
So, I mean...
And we can reach out. We do have a team that we really enjoy that we can reach out to and ask
which we love our sponsor. We just are not like, we don't call her all that often about business stuff. It's more like, hey, let's do lunch. So some of the things that I know I've heard people complain about, like the incentive changes happened while we were with the company. We made a big transition in terms of our point of sale system, and it was not without its tribulations. We just used Square for a little bit, but we weren't at a level.
Went through some things back then too that
we had gone through so many things before that we were just like, it's a new company, it's going to happen. So it didn't. We didn't really get hit by surprise by those things, and so, we think that the new things are much better
then,
than the system before.
If the company grew that fast and then
realized there were some things that probably should change.
Yes, and then they looked at their numbers. Mark's really a numbers guy, and he looked at the numbers and the sales and all that kind of stuff, and they made some adjustments and how they were running things, which things were selling, even some staff adjustments in that, and new suppliers, and now have launched LuLaRoe 2.0, and oh my goodness, we are so excited.
Because we have definitely 2.5 years, pretty. For sure. We've had our moments that we're like, is this really what we're going to do? Like, do we want to continue with this?
And what we didn't mention is we kept saying how we initially didn't want a company with, having
it's
inventory.
Much better.
But we discovered that it was much better because they can buy it right then and there.
And, one of the things that we really like is that because our inventory all looks different, even though we may sell the same styles as some of our retailer friends, when we were doing, like, Leah Sophia, we couldn't do an event together because we have the exact same catalog, we have the exact same things. We're, like, frenemies almost. Like, I love you like a sister, but don't take my customers. So one of the great things with LuLaRoe is that, yes, we do have, like, people that are they are our customers. They're part of our pack, as we call them. But they also will shop occasionally with other people. Like, we know that they have other places they go because they're looking for something specific in a print. But this also means that we're able to work together on things. So, like, if I have someone that's looking for something and I don't have it, I can reach out to one of these people and go, hey, do you have the thing? And then it just depends on what it is, if it's brand new, on how we work out the details.
We swap,
of making
we
that.
Trade, we wholesale, if it's
send
brand
people
new,
over,
we'll retail from them.
We facilitate.
When we first started, we did a lot of events that had like 20 to 25 LuLaRoe people there, and personally, I loved it.
Dangerous.
Because we were always going back and forth and checking things out, and like I said, we'd swap just to refresh.
Of course, we're always stocking other people's stuff because we want to see what pieces they've gotten. Like, what prints do you have? I may have a mild addiction to raccoon prints and space.
And cassettes.
I have cassettes. We do. Tilly is a real dog. She is not in the room because she currently thinks that she's unloved. So she would not allow me to speak to you all without interrupting.
Yes, that's why we're up here in this
Yes.
this setting, to be peaceful.
So I'm trying to think what else I wanted to make sure that we said. So going into like LuLaRoe 2.0. So we've had our moments of, is this what we want to do or not? And we keep coming back to, we still love the clothes. Like, I wear them every day.
Yes, I do too. And we reach different people because, she's younger. I'm obviously
I have purple
older.
hair.
So, and I'm here to show the older women, yep, you can wear this too.
I've been making her wear more stuff because we need to have more pictures of her, which we'll be working once it's not freezing out, because it's pretty not nice out today.
If you guys
yes, we are in Michigan. This is also part of why we're up here, because our Lula room, not only is it not the greatest for this frame view, but it's cold. Even though the heater is on right now, it's cold. So we are really excited about where things are going. So we've had a lot of big changes in the last few months.
Yeah, things are retiring and new stuff coming out, and
it's all good. Like, some of it,
so exciting. That's when I know that we're rolling. We're going with it because it's so exciting to be a part of all this new. It's like they learned lessons from things that happened, and now they pulled it all together. They got a lot of opinions. I love that they actually brought a bunch of consultants into the warehouse and had them look at prints and say, I like this or I don't like that and why. And so they really listened to what the consultants had to say.
Which if you're a shopper and you're like, but my consultant can't get stuff right now, that is because they actually went in and all of the Dorito prints, as people call them, they have cleared them out. Oh yeah, those are the triangle, like there's the triangles that people call Doritos. Okay. There was a whole profusion of them in, I don't know, our former designer apparently loved them. So all of those old prints have been cleared out of the warehouse, and only brand new prints are coming in now, which is super exciting.
Which is why they're calling it 2.0.
And part of why, like, your person may not be able to get Irma's this week, but they're coming.
Yeah, so, they said they have 15 million pieces on the way.
Crazy how much those, and it's gorgeous. Like these florals we're seeing, I love all the kitsch, and we're getting more kitsch back. So give me all of the raccoons and cassette tapes and space.
We drove to South Carolina last year to do the Shop the Warehouse.
Yes.
And got to go on a tour of the warehouse, which really helps. It
really helps understand how everything works.
Yeah, having seen it, and so when we order, we can picture where the order is going in and the process it's going through and how they curate. It's really cool because they really have like people double and triple checking, so that by curating, making sure that there aren't like 3 of the same prints in a row.
Well, like I was talking to, so we went in with a fellow consultant on ordering some St. Patrick's Day prints, and I was talking to her yesterday, and she's been out a lot recently, so she's just like catching up with what's going on with 2.0, and she's like, I got 20 pairs of leggings and none of them are the same. Like, yes, that is pretty much every order we get. We might get the same print in one size in TC, but we rarely are getting the same.
Or in the shirts across different sizes, but not in the same size.
Which is really
And they're also working out, so they said if you buy like the leggings and the shirts and a skirt at the same time, that the prints and colors like interchange, so they go together better, and so that's also really cool.
So there's some really cool stuff.
And they're going to have, they're still working on getting it all in stock where you can order solid or print and leggings instead of just, hoping that there might be some in there. Because when we first started, they had like a profusion of solids, like a rainbow of them. And then it was too much. So now they've got it all.
But they are very, like I said, willing to learn and grow, and they've been very receptive to the information that's given them. So what I've been really seeing since end of last year is that all of these things that I've been hearing other retailers say and that we ourselves have said, they've updated our support system so that it's easier for us to get feedback to them. They are taking those things and we're seeing them enacted in real time instead of it being like, I talked about this 10 years ago and it's finally happening, which I have been in companies where that's the case. Yes. That's not what is happening. Well, she mentions
reports. We just did our taxes. They have amazing reports that do a lot of the work for us.
It's really nice when you suddenly have your tax appointment in 3 days and you thought it would be 2 weeks from now.
Yes.
So I was just thinking that we should probably, so if you're watching this and you're not just like, what's going on with LuLaRoe and what are these people going to say about it, if you're actually considering it as a business, do know that it is work. Like, we put in hours. I am actually substitute teaching at the moment, in part because I couldn't handle all the red tape working in the preschool program, and in part because I couldn't work full-time in preschool, especially in the Head Start program, and do LuLaRoe. So I had to make a decision of which is going to be better for me in the long run, and chose LuLaRoe.
I work with special needs a couple of days a week, and then otherwise I'm the usual housewife things.
But we spend a lot like photographing things, trying to go live
regularly. As we said earlier, we knew that. We knew that ahead of time. If you really want to make the business work, then you have to put the work in. It doesn't just happen.
It's not just hey, I can throw up a website and I'm going to sell stuff.
And the little catalog businesses, which there are tons of them out there, and we do buy from people that, the things that we like. But those you can do as a hobby. If your investment is $100, then you can do it as a hobby.
We put in about $7,000. Now they've changed how the starting package works, and now you have a lot more choice in what you're gonna get. Like, we had choices, but it's even more like a la carte what you can do. So that's really awesome for if you are wanting to start and do it. You don't necessarily have to invest as much. But if you really want to make an income from it, you can do it. You don't have to have people, and we don't have anyone signed up underneath us. Like, we're happy to if somebody wants to come on. I just always tell people that we're a little bit too real with what the amount of work is, so we scare them off. But
and I tend to say, I give too much information.
Has diarrhea of the mouth.
I want to tell it all to you.
She does. I'm always like, whoa.
But I know that it's good. That could be overwhelming. I did the same thing in the jewelry business. Because I did have a team, and I was a manager when we were in the jewelry business. So, yes, I know about running a team. We both worked retail also, so we know about sales and
merchandising and all that kind of stuff.
And really, to us, being really good customer service is what keeps your business going.
By far what's going to set you apart in, well, pretty much any business nowadays especially. But we really try to show our customers, especially our consistent customers, how much we appreciate them in our business. And that is huge, huge, huge.
Oh, that was another thing, is the LuLaRoe that does this matching with fundraisers.
Yeah, we love the fundraising matching, which reminds me I have a form I need to turn in. So we really do love the business, and if it's something that someone's interested in, we're happy to answer questions.
Yes, definitely.
But definitely know that it is work, and it takes effort, and the payoff can be amazing. We have great relationships with customers and retailers that we have met through
And
LuLaRoe.
see, that was something we knew, too, from our jewelry. We call them our sparkling sisters, and we're still friends, even though none of us do that anymore. That, yes, and then the customers that become your friends.
Oh, yeah.
That happened in the jewelry, and that's already happened with
I don't know if she'll watch this, but one of our customers had won a giveaway, and she stopped by the other night to pick up her prize. A lot of times we send them, but she's local, and it involved a mug, and we were afraid it was going to break in the mail, so she just came by to pick it up. Well, she locked her keys in her car with it running in our driveway. And she and I ended up chatting for like 20, 25 minutes while we waited for her husband to come. So, I mean, they know our lives. Some of them probably know us better than like people that are my in real life friends do, because they see us almost every day in some form or another.
Lives and
oh yeah, they see me as I'm going, what is my hair doing today? Because I don't know.
Yes, we are very real. And that's
real.
another thing that's very important, is to be very real about who you are in your business. And there's something else I was going to say, and I don't remember what it was.
So it's very rewarding, but it does take effort. And you can run a successful and rewarding business that you make good money with without ever building a team. Now, if you do decide to build a team and you have enough people that you're actually in a management position, you will get a small percentage override on those, just as if you got a raise for being a manager in a company, because you wouldn't be expected to manage and do your own business and not make a little bit more for that. But you are expected to also work with those people and help them grow in that. So
they do have lots of little like promotions for us, and generally the way we're rewarded is with a credit in our back office towards
exciting.
Yes. And it could be $50, it could be $250.
Yes, it just depends.
There's a group going on a cruise. Trouble. Yes, you can earn a cruise. Trainings are fun as well as informative, and just meeting everybody. And I remember saying when I was in jewelry, and I say it again with this: when you go to a big event like that, and there are women of all ages, all colors, all
backgrounds,
yes.
ethnicities.
Yes, it's more. What's a one size fits? It's not a one size fits all. I'm not sure how I wanted to say this. Anybody can do it if they have that desire and the willingness to do the work.
And it's not for everyone. But
That's
if it's
true.
Not for you, but you love the clothing, there are lots of people like us that are willing to help you find the clothing that you love.
It's kind of an addiction. That's. I mean, St. Patrick's Day stuff came out yesterday, and I spent a lot of time looking.
She did. There's some awesome prints.
Yes, lots of different options. But at the same time, I'm shopping for myself, because yes, we shop too.
Yeah.
Because we don't get everything. Yeah, because when we mentioned this, having everything different, we order by style and size. We don't have any say on the prints that come.
So there are things like my Caroline cardigan that I got from the Valentine's Day collection. I totally paid some other retail regular price for because I wasn't playing around on getting that. I needed my typewriters.
And we also, we also have consultant groups that we can buy from each other at wholesale, and we track down if somebody really wants a certain piece. We'll check around with our other consultant friends and other sites, and
I hooked up one of our customers with a good friend of ours, and she's been on the hunt for raccoons for I don't know how long, and it just happens that in conversation it came up that she had the magical print, and we were able to connect them. So I know we didn't want to make this like super, super long, and we're getting to that point. So is there anything else you wanted to
I'm
add
looking over.
in?
She had a few notes here. If you see us looking down every now and then.
Because this is me, how I'm going to have notes and spreadsheets.
And
so
I think we pretty much covered it.
Yeah.
As we told them, we're in for the long haul.
We're really excited to see what's coming. There's some really awesome things in the pipeline that they're bit by bit telling us about, and
lots of new styles, new prints, new gorgeousness.
So we are very much looking forward to all of that happening.
Yes,
and we're also doing a lot more this year. We've made some changes in our personal business and approach to it in terms of we want to be offering more styling tips and those kind of things outside of just like randomly in lives, because that's how we've kind of done it to this point. So yeah, this is us. You've gotten a very like real look at how we are in real life, because this is not scripted at all. But we do love LuLaRoe.
Yes, we do.
It's not a perfect business, but it's the business that works for us, and we really enjoy it, and we enjoy the people with it, and we know it does make a huge difference knowing that Mark and Deanne care about us and our business, even though we haven't met them. I mean, I've been close. I've seen Mark's car, like, right there.
Oh, well, with the very first training, right? After we started,
Deanne
we
came and she told us her whole story.
Yeah, and she was in the lobby talking to people and giving us hugs and things like that. So yes, very real people, very down to earth, very family oriented.
Not all just about making money for them, which a lot of companies nowadays, that's what it comes down
to. Basically, it's more they've been very successful, and now they want to help other people be successful, and it just a lot of heart there.
So keep an eye out. There's going to be some awesome stuff coming with LuLaRoe.
Yes. And
we will have more on this channel as well. So if you enjoy listening to us, we're told that we're entertaining. Then keep an eye out for more styling tips and videos. And there may be some Lula parodies that come along. We will see how it all works out.
And a few dogs here and there. We've had we named the business after the dog, and she's come leaping over the camera and landed in our laps. So
yeah, we've had cameras go down in lives before. We try to avoid that.
Or just a few dog tails.
Yes. Especially when it's cold in the winter, because when it's warm out, we'll do our lives where they can't get to us. But we're going to wrap up because we can ramble really well, and we're almost 30 minutes in. So we hope you all have a fabulous day. Thanks for sticking through to the end if you're seeing this part.
Yes.
And if you have any questions about LuLaRoe or anything with the business, whether you're a retailer, you're considering it, if you're looking for something, by all means, feel free to drop us a message. We are on YouTube. We're on Facebook. We have a website, LuLaRoe Tilly's Boutique, across the board. And we will see you all later.
Yep. Bye.